Hello and welcome back to the Academy of Magical Art. I am Frater Ophiel, and today I want to talk to you about something that should have been discussed probably months ago. However, we're getting to it now. This video is entitled The Disclaimer of Magic for a very simple reason. Because there is one, and most people learn it or realize it after doing something that can't be taken back or amended. I know that when I was young in my craft, one of my mentors would tell me that if you cast a spell, if you do a ritual, if you try to put a manifestation into effect, and it does not go the way that you wanted it to, usually the best thing that can happen is nothing, which is indeed very true. So really what I want to discuss with you is using foresight with your magical practice. We were always told when we were growing up that hindsight is 20/20, which is true. However, we have been given foresight for a reason, and it doesn't do any good if we don't utilize it. So, story short, when it comes to casting, when it comes to magic, be it sigil magic, spells, rituals, creating effective change in our lives, it is important to remember that in doing so, you will also be creating change in the life of somebody else. If you are the reason for that change, if that change is coming as a result of something that you have decided to perform or do or manifest, you are karmically responsible for any what could be perceived as negative side effects. For instance, somebody casts a spell for money, and 3 days later their grandmother dies and they get a life insurance policy. All of a sudden, they have just done something that they cannot take back. That person is gone. Yes, they got the money that they wanted. However, usually they're sitting there going, I don't really want this anymore, because now it comes with guilt. An individual who is in love with somebody, they want to cast a love spell. I really don't ever advise towards those, influencing the free will of another to be drawn into your bubble. It's really a form of magical kidnapping, in my opinion. There is a difference between trying to force somebody to fall in love with you via magic and trying to strengthen a bond that is already there. But for all you know, while you're doing this, you have your sights fixed on one person, and your soulmate, or the person that you're meant to be with, somebody that could really make you happy, is right around the corner. By doing that, you have just done a couple of things. You have either robbed yourself of having that person walk into your life. You have robbed the other person of a similar person walking into their life. If your mate does walk into your life, and this other person is still infatuated with you as a consequence of something that you have performed, you've really cheated them out of something, because rather than trying to find somebody that'll make them happy, they're chasing after you, which is something that they can't have because you found what made you happy. And these are things that people don't generally think about before casting sigils or spells or doing candle magic or whatever for some kind of effect. They don't think about every facet and every aspect that can take place as a result of it. The disclaimer will come after the spell. The realization that, oh, maybe I should have thought this through a little bit more, will generally come after it's cast and they see the side effect, bringing us back to hindsight being 20/20. So, here is your disclaimer. Anytime you're wanting to create effective change within your life or within the life of another person, stop. Think about it. Think about it from every angle. More importantly, communicate with whatever spirits you communicate with. I don't care if it's angels, guides, gods, whatever. Use an oracular tool and divine on it. cards, runes, dice. Make sure that the result of this magical working is something that you want. I am a huge advocate of constructing your own spells, constructing your own rituals, making your own sigils. Don't have somebody else do it for you, because they're trying to place their emotion into manifesting something for you. And although, yes, it does work, it may be more effective if you do it yourself. I try to live by the old saying of give a man a fish, teach a man a fish. So better you learn how to do this hands-on yourself. I'm not saying to be pessimistic, but I am saying to have a multifaceted viewpoint on the situation or situations, and think things through thoroughly so that while you are constructing your spell or your ritual, you can specifically put things in it to prevent those outcomes that you don't necessarily want from happening. The safeguards. In the previous video that I did on egregores and tulpas and servitors, I said that an architect, before building a building, will always make a blueprint. They will think through every inch of this building, where everything is going to go, electric, plumbing, the bricks that form the walls, the roof, how it's going to fit on there, what it's going to look like. They have everything planned out to a T before the ground is broken and the first brick is laid. We need to be no different. We are architects of our universe. We are architects of our reality. And if we go around haphazardly just trying to build things because we want to see if this works and we want to see if that works, and this is what we think we want at this time, but we haven't really thought it through, the best thing that can happen is nothing. And following that will generally come with a couple of regrets. Any seasoned practitioner that I have spoken to can give me a story of a time when they have done a spell, they have worked a ritual, they have cast a sigil, and it backfired, and they wish they had thought it through a little bit more. Don't get caught in that same position. Think everything through thoroughly. Consult your guides and guardians. Consult your divinatory tools. There is safety in a multitude of counselors. So if you have seasoned practitioners around you, definitely do ask their opinion, see what they say. You don't necessarily have to agree with their opinion. You don't necessarily have to adopt it. I see people bickering on Facebook pretty consistently about this or that. Somebody will go on a forum and say, I need some help with this, or I would like some advice on that, or I want some opinions in this situation, and people start giving them. And you'll end up with a 79 post feed of people giving different opinions, and then it turns into an argument because one person doesn't agree with another person. It doesn't matter. That's why diamonds have multiple facets. That's why there are multiple facets of people. They come with multiple opinions, and all of them do matter to a degree. It is a way of looking at the situation that you didn't originally have. So in taking it into consideration, you are better off than you were before you did so. Just be very careful about who you're getting your advice from. Honestly, jumping on a feed on Facebook is not that great of an idea because most people, not all people, but a lot of people have a tendency to listen to the opinion that they agree with and discard the opinions that they don't agree with, and usually that's how you get your ass chapped. Look at all of the opinions, whether they be in your favor or not, understand the cognitive dissonance, and take them into consideration. When seeking out external advices, like I said, be careful. Go to some trustworthy sources. I know that there are a lot of experienced practitioners out there on the web, be it Facebook, or there's a couple of people that do YouTube videos. They can lend you some knowledge or some insight on your situation before you go ahead and commence. I, being one of those people, am happy to do that, as a lot of you already know. So, I don't really want to scare anybody. I just want everybody to take a moment of caution before commencing with any type of magical working, any type of manifestative act as a divine being, and make sure that it is constructed and built with safeguards. Understanding what can go wrong probably will, because energy will take the path of least resistance. So by looking at all of the possible paths, by looking at the different ways that your spell or your magical working can manifest, look at the paths of least resistance first and see if they have outcomes that you are okay with. If not, ensure that the energy does not go down that path. It does not travel down that pipeline. And that's generally a pretty good way to prevent that stuff from happening. Or realistically, a lot of people will change their mind and decide to go about the situation in a non-magical way so that that does not happen. As divine beings, as grand architects of our realities, as co-creators of the multiverse, the holographic universe that we all reside within, it is important that we take a level of responsibility when creating to ensure that it has the best outcome possible. I also would like to throw a quick shout out there to Tim Ravenroder from Ravencraft Arts on Facebook. We got to have a sit down the other day and have a pretty good chat, which was awesome. Also, I want to let you guys know that there are a couple of different things going on right now. We have our Etsy store up and running, so if there is anybody that is wanting oracular work done, divination, mediumship, numerology, astrology, anything like that, click on the little E that's on the banner, and it'll take you over there. We're going to be having products added soon, a couple made by us, a couple made by some of our close circle of friends and fellow practitioners. We also have just got our blog up and running. So that is presently, until we get a domain, that is presently academyofthemagical.art.blogspot.com. There we'll be putting updates and upcoming events, products, additions to the store, anytime a video is released, that will be there. And on another note, soon we'll be offering paid for material that we won't be releasing on YouTube. But if you want to go to an external source and still get that information, there will be discussions on manifesting your own reality. There will be discussions on Kabbalah. We got a lot of really good stuff lined up here. Pretty soon I'm going to be having discussions with some other practitioners of the magic community and putting them up here, so do stay tuned. If you're not already, hit the subscribe button so that you can get the notifications of when this stuff happens. Follow the couple of links that are on the banner there so that you can get linked up with our other forms of social media. And I want to thank you for joining with me today at the Academy of the Magical Art, and until next time, blessed be.